So I'm on week 2 of Blitz DG's 30-day challenge. I've only been playing disc golf a couple of months. I may have played 15 full rounds. So what I wanted to do is just show you step by step the drills that I'm doing. For those of you that are really experienced disc golfers, please comment below. And it's okay to give me advice, and I have a lot of respect for Blitz. I think he's a great teacher. He really resonates with me. He resonates with me because it aligns with the philosophy that I live my life by, where you build on basics, experience is your best teacher, refining things over time is going to do it. You try to lay as solid a foundation as you can. One of the things and the investments that I've made was the net. I think that the net is really good. I put colored rubber bands for my putting, and it gives me something to aim at visually. And I got a mat in my house too, so I can pull the disc down the line. And but anyway, I just wanted to show you the step-by-steps on what I'm doing. I'm very new at the game. I'm playing the game because I'm a mental health therapist. I use recreational type things to teach veterans how to overcome combat trauma. I'm a multi-war combat vet myself. I have done this with several other sports like bowling and outrigger canoe paddling in Hawaii, where I learn the fundamentals, I get really solid at it, and then the outcomes start taking care of themselves. So I'm at the beginning of it. It's always an exercise of the stoic virtue of temperance. You know, you're gonna have to be okay with being embarrassed, and of course you're gonna have to deal with desire, because you're gonna wanna look like those guys that throw it a long way and things like that. But I know I'm new, and I know that, you know, that I need to lay foundation. So this video is about, hey man, show me what I'm doing and what I can improve on with standstills and one-legged standstills. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna explain all of the drills I'm doing while I'm doing the Blitz DG challenge. I've implemented a couple of my own, but pretty much I follow everything that he recommends. So the first one is gonna be the wall drill. The wall drill, for me, it's a little bit more fundamental than what Blitz is talking about. But what you'll see is that this is the mark of where my wrist is when I'm in my stance, in the protracted position. This is the reach back line. Then what I do is I slowly follow through back into the pocket, and then I extend, and this is the last mark that I hit when I'm at full extension. So let me demonstrate. So I get in position, I make sure that my shoulder is protracted, I make sure that I'm deep in the pocket. What I do is I pull my core in, and then what I do is I start extending and coiling as much as possible. I want to feel this tension right here and right in my core. I get there. I slowly start engaging the hips. I pull back to this position. I want to be square when I'm in the pocket. Shift, extend. So I think one of the really important drills that Blitz talks about is the Whirly Bird. The Whirly Bird is basically what you're trying to do is move the disc on your path line when you're throwing. I find it really, really important because it relaxes these muscles. From what I understand, I'm a very beginner thing, is that this hinge right here needs to be as loose as possible. This is the hinge that it's going on, kind of like a trebuchet in ancient warfare. You're trying to do that. So for me, the elbow seems really important. You don't want it to go like this, because it will collapse right here and it will go. So when you're in the backhand and your elbow is not in the right position, it's a really bad thing. So if you can do this in your backhand, you're probably not in a good position. So what the Whirly Bird does is it keeps you on that line. Now, I usually start a little bit high, but my pull line is actually right here. And if you notice that you'll start swaying more and more. And then what I do is on the throw line is I just start adding a little bit more, like, and if you notice you keep your shoulders square, the elbow will come through the way it needs to. So when I go a little bit further back, and then I just start horizontal like he suggests. And for me, this works really good because I can feel the hips engaging first. And then I just start spinning on my core, trying to simulate that coil a little bit. And then what I do is I switch to two. I just put both discs in my hand. And then the mental cue that I'm thinking is pull straight down the line, pull into the pocket, right? Pull into the armpit, straight down the line into the armpit, straight down the line into the armpit, and just try to relax as much as possible. So that's how I'm doing the Whirly Bird. Feel free to comment if I'm doing it wrong. I've only been playing it a couple months, but for me, even when I'm out there playing around, I always do Whirly Birds before I throw, and it helps me tremendously. So now I'm gonna explain Blitz's one-legged drill the way I understand it after doing it a few weeks. And as a brand new disc golfer that's only been playing a couple of months, and kind of everything that I'm mentally doing it and where I'm at the moment. So that way my videos are actually talking about what's going on. So the first thing that I always do is make sure that I get a right grip, and I line it up, to the LA traffic finger. And what I do is I wrap it around, put my thumb right at the edge of the, that seems to be a consistent spot for me. And then what I do is when I'm doing the one-legged drills, the first thing I do is I line my foot up a little bit, like at 10 or 15 degrees off, because I think it forces my coil to go a little bit better. The first thing that I always try to do is where I'm going to end up in the pocket. I keep my wrist a little bit curled. I want to kind of hug the disc because it protracts my shoulder. At least that's how I understand it. And then of course I want to feel the hinge the right way. So I protract, I tuck in my ab, and then just like he suggests, I'm a little bit on an Anheuser. I want my spine and my rear foot to be in line. So the disc is going to be a little bit, Anheuser, ready? And then what I do is I try to force the coil in this area right here, right? I don't want to and then all I do is just simply reach back. I turn the Frisbee slightly down or the disc slightly down, and then I just pull back, and I always make sure I feel my hips going first, and then I want my hips already turning before I get to the pocket, and then slow, and then I go back again, protract, pull my core in. I'm twisting on the coil axis, reach back, engage the hips, pull out. So that's how I do his drill.